What is going on, YouTube men who are dating eligible bachelors out there? Really wanted to talk about today in the video about relationship goals and why to have them. So I spent a decent amount of time in the world of business, and one of the most basic pivotal things you can do when you have a career is set a goal. Maybe you want to become the manager, maybe you want to make X amount of money, maybe even in the fitness world, maybe you want to have a body type, a weight loss number, you want to get down to X amount of pounds, so on and so forth. But typically the people that set goals are the ones that achieve them. They make their plan to get there and they follow that road, that plan. And sometimes along the way, on that roadmap, there's turns and bumps and all that. But a lot of time, if you set that goal, you will make it if you continually try to get there. And what I recommend as a dating coach for men is that you do the same with your relationships. Not so much friendships, because you don't want to be using people or whatever. Your friendships should just be organic and hey, I'm friends with that person. But with your dating, there should be a goal. And I'm not saying that to use somebody, but the reason that I am saying it is that you want to get somewhere with it. So I want to dive in. The first thing is to define that goal. So I base my dating practice around finding career-oriented men, ages 25 to 40, the love of their life, to get where they really want to go, to have a long-term happy relationship. I personally recommend marriage. I don't want to, I'm not trying to flex, but I've been married for 5 years and I'm very happy. But even if it's not for you, I get it. But if you're going to be in a long-term relationship, it should be worth it and both people should be happy. So number one, you want to define, are you somebody that wants to play the field and really keep their options open? Or do you want to be somebody that's in a long-term happy relationship with a girl that you can really rely on and she's going to empower you to do the things that you want to do, career-wise, or if you guys want to have kids or buy a house together, whatever that is. I would hope that she'd be somebody that empowers you to better yourself. I highly recommend that, finding somebody that's like that. So what I find is a lot of guys think that it's cool to be the short-term guy, but as we age, as we get older, people start having families and spouses, so they have less time to be, your friends have less time to go out and have fun with you because you're single and you have more time on your hands. Well, a lot of the people around you are less and less of that, right? They have their own lives and their own families, and they can't go out and do the hobby stuff that maybe you guys used to do together. At least not as much, right? So, like I said, first thing is you want to just define that. What are you actually looking to get out of dating? So secondly, if your goal is that long-term happy relationship, maybe even marriage, then hey, welcome, you're in the right place. So if you want that long-term, what you want to do through your dating process is start to disqualify people that don't fit that criteria. So what'll happen is the more confidence you build and the more prospective partners you kind of go through in your dating processes, your short-term dating, once you find things that are enough of a red flag that that it's not going to be long-term anymore, you need to have the confidence to end that relationship. I know it's not simple, but it will make you much happier in the long run. And this is one of the mistakes that I made. I used to chase people a lot. I used to stay be the Mr. in and out of relationships guy. I would date somebody for a few months, then we would break up, then I would do my own thing for a while, then I'd get back together with the girl that I was with for a few months, and then we'd break up again. And it does lead to a lot of unhealthy in general, just like feelings and things, and like your friends are always like, oh geez, she's back with her and whatever. Like, take it from me, like, you really don't want that, if you can help it. So what I am trying to get back to is, if you find somebody that they do not qualify for the long-term relationship, aka if you're like, okay, well, I don't want to be with them for a year, 2 years, 5 years plus, because they have this going on and that going on, then I hate to say it, but like, end the relationship and go find the right one, right? I think it's easy. Well, it's not emotionally easy, but it's simple, and you should really do it, because like, we're not on this earth forever. Like, we have a what do you call it? None of us are getting out of this alive. So if you spend 3 years with the wrong person, like, why? Why did you waste that time? You know? And I think a lot of people like literally don't do this. They just like think somebody is like attractive physically, or they like look good on paper, right? Like, they're not only attractive physically, but maybe they have like a couple other like good career things going on. So it's like, okay, you kind of stay with that person because they have all these things, but in reality, like, you don't get along. You don't have like this deep emotional like bond that makes it awesome to wake up next to that person every day. So I think there's a really good thing to have a balance of both of those. I think that somebody should have their own goals in life. Like, the person that you're dating with, like that ideal person, for me it was, I wanted somebody that was like empowering and had awesome goals and was really smart, but also we had that deep like emotional bond. So like, kind of all the way around, our relationship works awesome. And again, I'm not trying to flex, I'm not trying to say like how awesome my life is. I'm just trying to like impart on you, like, don't be like emotionally blind. You know, don't be stuck in a relationship that might even be toxic for a couple years and you're unhappy, but yet you're not willing to take steps to get out of it. So if you can cut that problem off on the front end of the relationship, like when they have a couple red flags and you're just not like willing to deal with it, and you know you're not going to be happy, don't continue the relationship. End it and go on to date somebody that is awesome, that is more for you. One last aspect about this is having the goal in mind, the ultimate, the long-term goal that, you know, hopefully, again, that's why you've stayed watching the video. If you have that awesome long-term goal in mind, it will give you more confidence to end those short-term ones and to go out and find the right one. So you're like, boom, you're a month into like a relationship, you guys have been getting like dinner and stuff and hanging out more, and but you find that maybe you're not just emotionally connecting, like you might be physically attracted, but you like, there's nothing deeper and it just feels shallow. And I hate to say it, but a lot of time in those situations, you'll feel just as lonely when you have a girlfriend as when you didn't. And if you're in one of those, and I would, side note, also make sure that you don't have like your own issues to fix, right? Like, if you're not like comfortable in your own skin and not treating yourself well, then it's kind of hard to treat others well that are, you know, close to you and intimate with you. But all that aside, like, if you you know, get deeper into, you know, like a month or 2 months deep, and you're feeling lonely, you're not really like emotionally connected, but like the girlfriend is just there, time to end it, time to move on and just find the right person that you will connect with. Because as time goes on, and again, I've said this in other videos, as certain aspects of the relationship kind of slow down, and maybe you lose your youth a little bit, you're still gonna have like the emotional connection to rely on and still say, man, I love her. You know what I mean? And if you're like me, I always looked around at like older couples that have been married, you know, 25 to 50 years and still seemed happy. And I was always like, man, I want that. That is the goal. So because I kept that goal aligned, when I found my wife, it was like a no question. I mean, obviously I put some thought to it before putting a ring on somebody, but it wasn't like this, you know, it was a crazy life-changing decision, but also like I just knew. And I'm not trying to make this sound like some cheesy romance movie, but like I knew, and we were aligned, and we, you know, it just, you know, just went along. So Having that goal in mind will increase your confidence to be able to end those relationships that are short term, that don't really work on the deep level. So just wanted to cover that stuff. Have relationship goals. My name is Nate. I'm a dating coach for men. I said at the beginning of the video kind of who I cater to. I'd love to talk to you. Really, my hope is that you can take videos and other ones like it and figure yourself out and go find the woman of your dreams. That's what I really want. But if you want a coach in your corner, helping you, like breaking down your individual, needs, issues, whatever, helping you to power through those and find your long-term relationship that you really want, then please get a hold of me. My website is pattersoncoachingwny.com. You go there, it's a Facebook website. You can find my direct contact information. Send me an email, text me, like whatever you got to do, and we'll see if we're good for each other. And thanks again for watching the video. If you got something out of it, also please subscribe. It does help me out with those YouTube algorithms. So maybe other men that are in need of the info that I'm giving you will be able to find me also. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.